To add a demerit to Overwatch Live, navigate to the control panel and select Add Edit Demerit. From this screen, click Add Demerit. For this example, I'm going to create a demerit that will be issued when a resident uses poor language. So I'm going to give my demerit a name of language. At this time, the short name for demerit is not heavily utilized in Overwatch Live, so the current recommendation is to just re-enter the demerit name. And then select the type. I'm going to select courteousness, and I would like to make this demerit active in the system so that it can be issued to residents, so I'll check the active box. Next, I'll click Add. Once the demerit is added, an Add Consequence button appears in the bar at the bottom. I'm going to add a consequence to this demerit. I'm going to select a consequence from the drop-down box. I would like to assign a $2 fine to this consequence. After I select the consequence, click Add. There are two tabs, the Schedule and Behavior Tracks tab. On the Schedule tab, the days of the week are defined. As it's currently set up, this fine can be issued on all 7 days of the week. However, in my residence hall, I want all fines to be collected or to be completed on Saturdays, so I'm going to remove the other days of the week. On the Behavior Tracks tab, you can select the frequency with which this consequence occurs. Select a behavior track from the drop-down menu. For disciplinary probation, the way it's currently defined is that on the second demerit, the $2 fine will be issued, and then on the next demerit, or the third total, the fine will be issued again. Something important to note is whatever value the highest step has, in this case it's 1, that's how often the fine, or the consequence in this case, will be issued once the maximum steps have been reached. So in other words, starting at the beginning, after the second demerit, the resident will get a $2 fine. On the third demerit, the resident will get another $2 fine. And then on the fourth, fifth, and sixth, because the highest step value is 1. This looks good to me, so I'll leave it as is, and then I'll change the good standing behavior track. The way it's defined here is that a resident in good standing will receive a $2 fine every 4 demerits. I think I'd like to add a frequency of 2 and then 1. So as I've defined it here, on the 4th demerit the resident will get a $2 fine. Then after 2 more, or the 6 total, they'll get the fine again, and then they'll get a demerit, or excuse me, they'll get a fine on the 7th demerit, 8th, 9th, 10th, and so on. Once that's all defined, I'll click Save. And you can see that the consequence is added and the frequencies are displayed. So there for disciplinary promotion, you see it's 2, then 1. For good standing, it's 4, 2, and 1. If you'd like, you can add multiple consequences and vary the frequencies for the different behavior tracks. I'll do one quickly just so you can see how it works. For this one, I'm going to select an hour of work. Click Add. The resident could do the hour of work on any day of the week, so I'm going to leave that how it is. And then for the behavior tracks, for disciplinary probation, I think what I'm going to do is delete this one and make it every 5th demerit. They'll have to do an hour of work. And then for good standing, I'm going to make this a 6. And click Save. And you see that that consequence has been added. When you're all finished, click Save, and the demerit has successfully been added to the system.